All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a 2v2 matchup. This game taking place here on Withering Fields. ToD and, well, ToD playing as the Orc here, and his partner XiinoStrA going up against Achilles and Skipp0. So don't quite know who these players are. Achilles right here, Skip off over here. So it is gonna be Orc and Undead going up against Orc and Night Elf. ToD opening things up with the Farseer off here. Meanwhile, XiinoStrA opening things up with a Keeper of the Grove. He will be going up against a Blade Master and, nope, that's the other hero, and a Death Knight. So in a game with ToD, no human player, Death Knight already out. Farseer actually taking quite a bit of damage as the Misha Bear getting taken out there. All right, some Farseer suffering much more damage than I would have naturally thought. We need to see a Voodoo Lounge, and ToD also teching the tier 2 quickly. Perhaps ToD will make a quick visit to the Moonwell Baths here in just a moment. Death Knight, would have spotted ToD or spot ToD's low hit point Farseer and tried to get in some easy death coils early on to try and shut down any early play. Night Elf Juice. Oh, yes. Oh, nice little icons that you got there, Flynn. All right, coming back through. Skeletal minions cleaned up here. Meanwhile, back across, Keeper of the Grove, Blade Master trying to get in a little bit of harassment. Keeper of the Grove looking to get an entangle off or two and slow down some of this overall peon work. All right, where is that Keeper of the Grove running off to? Just pretty much running around in circles, able to stay just a step ahead of that Blade Master. Coming back across here, Farseer getting in some damage, and the headhunters with those spirit wolves looking to get looking to get that Farseer to level 2. A lot of action and a lot of skirmishing right now from both of these sides as the skeletal minions just get cleaned up here. Now, Undead cannot or should not just be trying to give experience. It needs to do a better job of disrupting any of this creeping here. It looks like ToD is just able to play his game pretty consistently as the Death Knight still doesn't have any experience. All right, that rogue will get taken down, and it is going to be a Gauntlet of Ogre Strength +3. Meanwhile, a Peon getting choked to that there. Keeper of the Grove going to get hit by a Nerubian Tower as all of these units retreat back off to the north. Where are the units going to try and travel off to next? Acolyte going to go ahead and get a quick entangle, get taken out. Huntress now going after the Blade Master, exchanging blows, just adding up a little bit of superficial damage. And right now this game still feels more like two 1v1 games being played simultaneously as there hasn't been any, double fighting action. Blade Master now coming in across here, may get some burst damage onto that Farseer takes a Windwalk Strike and a Death Coil, and suddenly down to 149 hit points. Blade Master may try to get one more Windwalk Strike here, and that might be a bit of an issue, as the Farseer does also have a potion of healing if necessary. All right, down to 136 hit points, but healing back up with that healing sab. Blade Master has not used Windwalk yet. They're looking at the Death Knight. Death Knight down to 31 hit points, down to 11. One more shot should do it. Death Knight falls at level 1. As the Keeper of the Grove, there's Dust of Appearance. Blade Master, we're going to see an entangle. No, we do not. Blade Master able to simply run on through right there. This is going to open things up for the Night Elf Orc army, clearing out a difficult creep camp during this time. I thought, yeah, there's a Foreshore High Priest somewhere in the back there. Not really spotted. Finally going to get taken out. All right, what item was dropped? A Potion of Greater Mana, as the Keeper of the Grove gets to level 2, while the Farseer just shy of level 3. All right, Shadow Hunter joining in on the battle for Orc. Meanwhile, do we see a second hero coming in from Night Elf? No, not as of yet. We're looking at Blade Master, Shadow Hunter, the Death Knights by himself, no Lich, as we are teching to tier 3 already, and we should be getting that Lich with that Orb of Corruption. I always wonder if should the Blade Master get an Orb of Corruption as well, since he is an auto attack based hero, removing armor is a big part of ensuring that you are dealing more damage. Keeper of the Grove staying with those huntresses, moving quickly across the field. Meanwhile, Shadow Hunter and Tauren Chieftain looking to engage. Perhaps, I believe there should be some creeps there. Yeah, other additional creeps who are currently shadow melded, waiting to attack. All right, a little bit of no glaive bounce, oddly enough. The glaive, I would have thought normally would have been able to bounce to that stronghold. Apparently not close enough at all, as we are looking at the Orc army trying to engage against the Night Elf. A couple of ensnares trying to, well, close things off here, as we are looking at some chain lightning, and now ToD helping and bringing over some units to help defend. That one raider quickly getting taken down. Critical strike from a normal attack there, nearly picking off that raider easily. Meanwhile, Death Knight, Undead army, clearing out this gold mine down to the south. Are we perhaps going to be looking at a possible expansion attempt here? All right, Huntresses coming across an army of Crypt Fiends. A quick entangle on one could ensure the death here. There's a death coil to try and, well, keep it alive. Meanwhile, it looks as though a little bit more damage is still racking up. There's a Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat, and it looks like one Huntress gets taken down instead. The Death Knight's death coil, a nice big burst heal, saving that low hit point Crypt Fiend. Obsidian statues, and then reinforcements showing up in time by the Orc. ToD using this opportunity to, well, clear out some more creep camps, perhaps get to level 3 on his Shadow Hunter, or level 4 on this Farseer. Level 2 healing wave would be a very big deal, as these headhunters really do need to transform into berserkers for that additional 100 hit point upgrade and that berserker frenzy. All right, headhunter now retreating back here. A little bit more damage. Item pickup will be Ring of Regeneration, I believe, as the Huntress, well, Huntress and Keeper of the Grove chase after the fleeing Orc army. All right, Keeper of the Grove, well, another creep getting taken down. Level 3 on the Farseer, level 2 on that Shadow Hunter. Meanwhile, a solo Keeper of the Grove, level 2, and we're still sitting at Tree of Life after all this time, not going into a higher tier. More berserkers are getting trained now. Raiders are just pillaging down these barracks. We might see some repairs. There's a couple of ensnares going down, as well as we see the Keeper of the Grove bringing the army of Huntresses down to the south as well. Meanwhile, ToD trying to defend his own base. Is he going to be able to pick off any of these units? Raiders are all still very close by. The Chain Lightning not finding any of the lower hit point units, as we see reinforcements and defense on the move. Crypt Fiends could try and perhaps burst down one or two of those Huntresses as they're retreating away. There goes a Frost Nova, well, making for slow moving across any of those units. Another Huntress should get taken down there. There's another ensnare, and, well, Night Elf just giving or trying to do hit and run tactics, but unable to successfully do it, as he's losing too many Huntresses in the process. All right, Doomguard could easily get finished off here. A couple of easy picks-offs as well. There's that Doomguard. There's the Howl of Terror Doomguard with some of that big damage across the board. Level 4 now on the Farseer. Level 3 on the Shadow Hunter. A double level up. Very big deal here, as the Doomguard finally out of mana, unable to do any more Howl of Terror's Rain of Fires or anything of that nature. All right, Warsong Battle Drums. Shadow Hunter now getting in a bit of bonus damage. Meanwhile, the Orc army finding the Night Elf army, going to try and engage here, perhaps poke apart some of these units. Are they going to be able to do that? There's a Chain Lightning, and I believe a Crypt Fiend, or no, yeah, Crypt Fiend ends up staying alive just the right moment, and a quick Devour Magic by that Destroyer ensures a clean escape. Meanwhile, Raiders are going up against the Night Elf here, and, well, Shadow Hunter quickly getting taken down because of that entangle. Both sides are still fighting their way through. Huntress is able to get in some good glaive bounce damage across multiple units, and still while healing up. Lightning Shield. Was the Lightning Shield really cast? Not quite sure why. Well, there's no shamans here, so was the Lightning Shield applied by the Keeper of the Grove? That is the question now. Is there a Lightning Shield? There could have been a Lightning Shield charge. Not quite sure. All right. Doomguard assassins are all right here. Overlord is in position as well. ToD trying to retreat back, and now going after these units. Vampiric Aura for that Overlord. Overlord trying to retreat back. There's that Rain of Fire. Big damage over time across all of these units here, as Tauren now making their way out onto the battlefield for ToD. All right, Tauren out here on the battlefield does have a Tauren has Bloodlust and the War Drums that pulverize, really dealing quite a bit of damage here, as we're looking at the Endurance Aura now getting picked up by the Farseer. So Farseer having Endurance Aura should be able to move around much more quickly. Meanwhile, the Undead is looking for well, some expansions, gonna find it, and now the Undead's Expo is also going to get cleaned up here, as we see an Ancient Protector being placed down to try and, well, ensure no extra bases get established. Keeper of the Grove going to be teleporting back home for perhaps defense. There it is. Ancient, well, trying to land here. A little bit of Watchtower presence by ToD to protect his partner's base. Pulverize could cause some problems, as the Tauren just reaches out onto the battlefield, instantly gets destroyed because of sheer numbers, as we're going to be looking at a fight here. All right, Shadow Hunter, Scroll of Town Portal inbound or outbound for the Death Knight. Lich going to retreat away. Couple of illusions off to the side there. Orc able to retreat back. Blade Master still only at level 2. Pretty much Skipp pretty much getting shut down throughout much of this match. We are, what, 13 minutes into this game, and we're looking at a level 2 Blade Master and a level 1 Shadow Hunter. Blade Master pretty much just got to level 2 after all this time. All right, Ancient Protector easily going to get cleaned up here. New Expo, well, it looked like a new Expo was trying to be placed down. Instead, just going to harvest a bit of lumber. All of the creep camps, save for one green creep camp, now still have been removed from the map. Now we're looking at some big damage. Huntress with fast attack speed with Bloodlust. We also have the Endurance Aura, and then the bonus damage from the Warsong Battle Drums item. Skipp able to start chomping on one Huntress, but we're looking at all of this glaive bounce damage, which is going to slowly add up here. All right, Chain Lightning bouncing around, and we're going to see that glaive bounce damage also pick apart at some of those peons. Level 4 now on the Shadow Hunter. Repairs are not getting underway, as this is turning into a base race scenario. Scroll of Town Portal, Tree of Life is going to end up getting taken down. There's Scroll of Town Portal, and there is this sudden, well, appearance of the Orc and a Night Elf army. Big impaled by the Undead here. Scroll of Town Portal outbound, and here we are. Both sides are going to be trying to retreat. Are we going to see some Devour magic right before, though? No, we are not. So both sides losing one of their main halls, as a new Expo trying to be placed down here. All right, still 4,000 gold left in this primary gold mine. Worth building up a Tree of Life to get some of gold out of that gold mine here. Meanwhile, what is the follow-up play? Shadow Hunter is at 4. Shaman Farseer is at 4, nearly at level 5. Tauren are out on the battlefield. We do not see Spirit Walkers for possible Tauren resurrection. Also, all of this Bloodlust, it looks absolutely delicious to the Destroyers, and the Destroyers may be able to, well, eat all of that Bloodlust quickly and then reflect that damage back. That is going to be a very big deal if that Destroyer, are we going to see a little bit of, well, yeah, there's a little bit of Devour magic there, but the army just seems too large and threatening, especially with all the Berserkers with 3-1 upgrades. Now, the Berserkers normally have a very slow attack, currently at slow, could be faster, and this is just a standing army that can easily poke apart all of these units here. All right, both sides engaging. Blade Master still sitting at level 2 after all of this time. Tauren trying to, well, pulverize, get into that frontline spot. There's a couple more ensnares, as the Blade Master, well, so low on hit points and so low on level, can't absorb any real damage. All right, Crypt Lord up in that frontline spot. Farseer is getting up to level 5. Blade Master trying to take down a Tauren here. Both sides pushing their way through. Healing Wave bouncing around. And it looks like ToD and XiinoStrA, the Orc Night Elf army, should be able to hold on a little bit, but the Crypt Fiend's damage is starting to whittle away at some of these Huntresses, and they're now being forced to retreat back. All right, the War of Attrition, but that home field advantage of Blight, allowing the Crypt Fiends to regenerate hit points while exchanging blows against all of those Huntresses. really has taken a toll. These two armies both beaten down and beaten up. Yeah, beaten up. Why can't I speak correctly today? 26 supply over 40 and 45 compared to 49 and 12 over 60. Entangling of the gold mines now getting started by the Night Elf, but it's going to be a bit of time before the Night Elf army is going to really be able to train up any additional units. Those Huntresses just seemingly fell apart there pretty quick. Keeper of the Grove is sitting at level 4, does have Thorns Aura, level 1 Thorns Aura to reflect back some of that damage here, as well ToD using long distance mining to try and get to get a little bit of an advantage back here. Perhaps we're going to see a tiny Great Hall. Yeah, tiny Great Hall being placed down to speed up this economic game plan here. And once that tiny Great Hall is established, well, we'll see what follows up next. All right, there's that tiny Great Hall. Meanwhile, we see a fully entangled gold mine, but XiinoStrA has not even mined any gold out from there and doesn't have any wisp mining here either. Were all of the wisps just completely gone and not being trained at all? That could have been the case. XiinoStrA gonna lose this Tree of Life before getting any gold out of this gold mine at the 3 o'clock spot. Farseer at level 5 summoning level 3 Spirit Wolves. Farseer, or Shadowhunter, well, it needs to get a couple more items as well. Perhaps a potion of mana or something else to try and keep him in his support role. He built 2 Tree of Life at the same time. Yep, 1 at the main base, 1 at the expo, and didn't get any mining done for what seemed like forever and a day. All right, what's coming up next? Main gold mines. The haunted gold mine here, no longer doing any mining. We can see a tiny or a Great Hall has been established by the Orc army here. Going to be able to get a bit more gold out. Meanwhile, what is going to happen next? It really feels like ToD off to the north with this expo, fairly well defended, should be able to well, re-establish the blue army here. We're looking at XiinoStrA also trying to, well, get back into a decent army size, back up to 17 over 50. Clicked on this watchtower for a second. I'm like, how does he have 59? No, he has 17 supply, 5 of that in workers, or 6 of that in workers. So not very many units at all. Keeper of the Grove, couple of Huntresses wandering around here. And at this stage, it feels as though, well, it feels like if ToD wins, ToD is going to carry his team in spite of some of the missteps by XiinoStrA throughout this game. Now, we're looking at, well, Crypt Fiends, Lich, Crypt Lord, nearing level 3. We should be looking at level 2 Impale. That could be a big amount of damage dealt across all of these berserkers who generally have low hit points. At 475 hit points, Death Coil, Frost Nova, Impale should be enough to, if not take down some of those berserkers, at least weaken them enough for an easy follow-up hit. The Shadow Wolves still trying to clean up against some of these peons and doing fairly well there, and as he, well, disappears into nothing. All right, we're going to engage here. Huntresses are trying to get trained up. There's one Ancient Protector off to the side. Abomination in that frontline spot. And are we going to get into position here? One Ancient of War taken down. A second Ancient of War could get taken down. And snares are being thrown in. And in comes ToD from the rear here. Is he going to be able to, well, dissect this army? That is the question. There's a Kodo Beast. There's a quick Hex as the units are trying to retreat back around, poking back apart. There's a big Impale. Are we going to see some more Frost Novas or anything else as the Shadowhunter using those healing waves? Torrent should be pulverizing and just engaging. Shadowhunter quickly going to get Scroll of Town Portal and just pivoting to a new spot. Shadowhunter still falls at level 4, though, after an Impale there, as the Farseer is still trying to engage. All right, I thought that Shadow Hunter would have survived, but no. More Impales just picking up and dropping off all those units, and that temporary stun, such a big deal across all of these units in the back. All right, Cryptlord finds a way to stay alive. Death Knight now trying to retreat back here. All of Todd's army dangerously low on hit points, but still a dangerous army as they're trying to chase down these units. Are we going to see a Frost Nova there? Frost Nova onto a Tauren. Tauren could easily get taken down. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around again as the Lich is still benefiting from a large amount of having a decent amount of mana. All right, Death Knight still falling back here, and once those Obsidian, or no, there's no more Obsidian statues, only Destroyers. So this Orc army just doesn't seem, or this Orc and Undead army, not going to be able to rebound nearly as quickly as before. Okay, 1 base mining for the blue army compared to 2 bases mining for the yellow, but yellow doesn't have nearly as long of a time to mine. All right, more damage getting racked up onto all of these peons as they make their way back home. We're looking at, well, ToD trying to find a way to heal up all of these units. Remember, Disease Cloud no longer lasts forever and a day, but still it takes quite a bit of time to recover the hit points on a 1300 hit point Tauren. All right, those Taurens gonna, well, slowly regenerating hit points. Yeah, also a bit diseased, so, well, impacting or impeding that natural slow regeneration here. Raiders able to poke apart, still getting a little bit of gold from that pillage. Keeper of the Grove going to try and defend here. Ancient of Lore is now trying to get added in, and we finally see XiinoStrA at Tree of Ages after all this time, but still ends up losing his Keeper of the Grove as he's unable to get inside his base because of ensnares. Meanwhile, ToD is continuing to try and put pressure, slow down the mining on the other side of the map as the Destroyers are trying to test the waters here. All right, Watchtower getting in a little bit of poke damage. Death Coil, Crypt Fiend save, 3-0 upgrades for the Undead. Orc, however, having 3-0 upgrades on those Berserkers, 0-1 upgrades on those Tauren. All right. Peons looking for any place where they can mine gold, set up shop. We're looking at the Raiders and Kotobi's coming back across here. Repairs are underway here. A lot of damage could get racked up. We're looking at some of those Shadow Hunter or the Raiders. Scroll of Healing quickly being used, and, well, a massive number of ensnares. Poking now happening across the board. Chain Lightning pounding ToD down to 300 hit points. He needs to get more repairs. Is he going to be able to finish it off here? And more repairs are underway. ToD does not hold on to, but able to take down the Shadow Hunter there. Perhaps a little bit more gold will be needed. Perhaps a tiny Great Hall. Coming back the other side, though, more poking by the Undead army across here. All right, Shadow Hunter trying to get in front there, trying to poke apart some of these units, perhaps take down a Destroyer. One Destroyer taken down. Impale finds much of the Orc army as one Shaman gets taken out. Orc army sitting at 69 supply. Long distance mining still happening. Meanwhile, Huntresses have found this expo down to the south and is going to be taking down at least some of these acolytes and slowing down some of the mining here, but they do need to retreat back out as the Orc army now showing up. All right, ToD's Orc army, well, very large and impressive, able to do a little bit of poking as we see Raiders are now going after this Huntresses here. All right, Berserker army, the Destroyer should be able to come in and devour magic. That's going to look very delicious, and suddenly the army is going to be able to, well, suffer quite a bit of damage. There goes an Impale. Farseer down to 500 hit points after using a potion of healing. Still currently ensnared. Mountain Giants now trying to perhaps getting a little bit of taunt. There goes an Impale, but doesn't find the Farseer. Farseer continuing to try and poke apart the rest of these units. Double level up as the Farseer and the Keeper of the Grove level up because, as they both level up. Shadow Hunter, however, falls at level 4, so ToD now only with a Farseer here as he has level 3 Chain Lightning and a level 3 Spirit Wolves. All right, finishing off the Haunted Gold Mine to ensure not as much gold is given from that unsummoning, as we are looking at a rebuilding of the Great Hall off to the north. Shadow Hunter is getting resurrected 26 minutes into this game. ToD's army sitting at 61 over 81. XiinoStrA sitting at 35. No longer able to get any additional mining going, but is now researching Nature's Blessing. Meanwhile, the yellow army has no mining happening anywhere now. So what you see is what you get. And with that, ToD may have been able to hold on to this, especially if he's able to get this Great Hall up and operational. Crypt Lord leading, Death Knight, Lich very much well following up from behind. Blade Master are going to do a little bit of scouting here, but there is quite a bit of defense here to try and protect all of these units. Blade Master going to try and come back around here and, well, getting a little bit of damage. Blade Master, will it be able to finish off this Great Hall since it doesn't have fortified armor yet? Entangle onto the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord, however, able to break free with the help of a destroyer devouring that magic there. All right, little bit of damage, down to 800 hit points, still dropping slowly and steadily. Blade Master, however, cannot stick around in that fight, especially as the Great Hall is now nearly done. All right, repair now done. Well, gonna go ahead and get to work, perhaps get some more repairs right there. ToD's Expo gonna supply a bit more gold as the Ancient of Lores are uprooted and now ready to move on out. Over here to the bottom right, Tree of Ages is gonna be rooting over here in just a second. Where are we going? How are we going here? We're gonna be engaging as there's a bit of, was that devour magic actually finding some of those wolves there, even though they were invisible. All right. Blade Master engaging against the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove gets an entangle off. There's a Death Coil Frost Nova onto the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove trying to retreat all the way back. He's down to 27 hit points. He's going to get taken down. Level 4 now on the Crypt Lord. Orc army showing up just a little bit late to try and help here as the Ancients of Lore are going to be getting into position. Perhaps a resurrection. Do we see the Altar of Elders? I do not see the Altar of Elders as the Mountain Giant now trying to lead that charge in that frontline spot. Level up onto the Shadow Hunter, who now sits at level 5. There's a quick hex onto the Blade Master. Blade Master getting pounded. He gets taken down with the Chain Lightning as the Blade Master falls at level 3. Following it up, are we going to see the Shadow Hunter get impaled or get taken down? No, and quick impale. It looks as though ToD Shadow Hunter going to be in a little bit of trouble. He backs up. Healing Wave saves him as the units are still looking to find a way to fight their way through. All right, there's a little bit more Chain Lightning. There goes another impale. Healing Wave bouncing again. Torrent trying to pulverize their way through. ToD is just carrying this army on his back. Mountain Giants in the front also leading the charge as they are massive with that Bloodlust upgrade. Gold getting well harvested out here. Are they getting trained up or given to ToD at this point and stage? Shade keeping track of things. Shadow Hunter still sitting at level 5, picking up a Scroll of Healing. Perhaps should pick up a Potion of Healing as well, or a Potion of Invulnerability, as the Shadow Hunter has been acting as the glue to keep this army together. There's a Death Coil Frost Nova, and so much damage already racked up here. All right, there's that Scroll of Healing quickly being used. There's a Chain Lightning. Are we going to see death onto that Shadow Hunter? Shadow Hunter down to 32 hit points. A Purge, and he gets taken down. Shadow Hunter falls at level 3. As these units try to heal back up together. Remember, there is a Shade keeping track of this army. May be able to find all of these heroes. ToD could be in a little bit of trouble. There's another Scroll of Healing being used there. Shadow Hunter needs to find a way to get a little bit more mana, and it looks as though ToD is going to end up victorious, carrying XiinoStrA on his back with that large army in the end. ToD 2v1 most of the game, yeah. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.